Okay, so now we get to the Gold Coast Titans NRL season preview. The perennially frustrating Titans. Perennially. There is no doubt they have a great youth system and a great catchment area, and they are now challenging the Brisbane Broncos for some of that youth talent in southern Queensland, which I think is important and healthy for the league. Problem is converting that at first grade level and being consistent at first grade level. They've shown flashes, they've shown glimpses over the years, and occasionally do make the top eight. Occasionally they have a very, very good season. But in reality, they are just a pretty average run of the mill side. That's the best way to describe the Gold Coast Titans. Last season, pretty much as many other seasons have gone. They had a poor start to last season as well, which undid them. Some of their results they had were very, very good. However, Des Hasler has some issues he's got to work out with this squad. Now, some of the pros, he's still got Kieran Foran in there, and that's a great conduit between Des Hasler and the rest of the playing squad because of his time at Manly. And Tina Fasumoauli returns from a serious knee injury, so they get their captain back. And that's something they were lacking a little bit, was some leadership. When Kieran Foran was out and Tino was out, they lacked some leadership and some consistency and some direction, which I think is part of the problem. We don't know what the starting halves are going to be. Is Kieran Foran going to be one of the two halves, or is he going to be a depth number 14 type player? Is AJ Brimson going to be a half rather than a fullback? We just don't know what this spine's going to look like, and I think that is a problem. That is, I think, a concern. On the pro side of it, as I say, the development system, the catchment area, the growth in the fan base. They're selling more tickets. There's more fans in the stadiums. There is some positivity. Having Des Hasler as a coach, a premiership-winning coach, is, I think, a positive. Unfortunately, their start to last season undid them, and then they were inconsistent for the rest of the season. The consistency is a problem. The depth has been highlighted at first grade level. They're great at developing players. It's keeping hold of them. Injuries did for them as well, which links into the depth. And we just don't know what the halves are going to look like. This is a problem, is that spine. We just don't know who's going to play 6, 7, 9, and 1. Is Verrills going to be fit enough? Is AJ Brimson going to be a fullback or in the halves? Is Foran going to be fit enough to complete an entire season? There are certain concerns about the spine, but the forward pack is mobile and quick and skillful. They've got some. Khan Pereira, for example, is a fantastic winger. His try-scoring record is fantastic, so they've definitely got some strike in the outside backs. But if you don't have consistent halves and a set structure in that spine, I think they are going to struggle. Will they be wooden spooners? No. Will they make the top 8? If they can figure out their combinations and figure out their best spine and get started where they didn't start last season particularly well, if they can actually play the opening 5-6 rounds of the season really well, let's say get 3-4 wins in there and set themselves up for the season, they could be a top 8 side. This is the frustration many have with the Gold Coast Titans. Their squad is too good to be wooden spoonists, but is it good enough to make the top 8? And will Des Hasler be able to make this team more consistent, more competitive, and more structured? Because we've seen time and time again, there's been flashes, there's been moments, but not enough consistency throughout the team's existence. Too many seasons they've missed the top 8. They are one of the most frustrating sides alongside the West Tigers for frustration with the fan base, where they've got the talent there. They've got the catchment area where the youth system is working and producing talent, and they're not converting it at first grade and missing the top 8 far too many times. However, they have been in the top 8 more recently than the West Tigers. They now have stable ownership. Can that stable ownership and consistent youth level translate to a first grade team that can make the top 8 on a consistent basis? Des Hasler is a very good coach. We know this. Their forward pack is very mobile. We know this. Their outside backs are very skillful. Khan Pereira, I think, is the highlight of the strike power they have out wide. It's the halves and the spine. So can Des Hasler figure out his best spine combination? Because that could be crucial to their season. But there we go. There's a brief look at the Gold Coast Titans, perennial underachievers. Could this be the season they finally do something? Let's wait and see. But for me, for now, thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts on the Gold Coast Titans and their chances this coming season? Do you think they'll make the top 8? Will they miss the top 8? Will Des Hasler then be under pressure should they struggle this season? Could this be his job on the line should they fail to challenge for the top 8 or improve from 14th last season and get better results, be more consistent? Could Des Hasler be one of those coaches on the hot seat? But there we go. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll have some more content for you guys very, very soon.